Good morning, friends. In this session, we people are going to discuss about the components of a window. A typical window are composed of dozens of elements. Some appear on the window. In certain cases, we may not able to fit all these elements into the window here. Okay, just for a consistency purposes, these elements should always be located in a same position within a window. Most of the windowing system provide a consistent location for elements in their own windows. Okay, some inconsistencies do exist in the element location between different systems. Okay, however, as do some differences in what the elements are named and what graphic images or icons are chosen to identify them. If you look at Microsoft Windows specifically, uh, we have a primary window, a secondary window, and a form of a secondary window, sometimes also called as a dialog box. Okay. In this section, we people are going to discuss about the all components of this window. Okay, the first one, we have a frame. Okay, a window will have a frame or a border, usually rectangular in shape, that defines its boundaries, and we can distinguish it from another window. While this border, for example, this one, we have a rectangular shape of borders we have. While this border need not be a rectangular, this shape is a preferred shape for most people. A textual material, which we usually or read from left to right, that fit most efficiently within this structure. Okay, the border comprises of a line of a variable thickness and color also. If a window is a resizable one, it may contain the control point for resizing it. Okay, if the window cannot be resized, the border, this border coincides with the edges of the window. The next one, we have the title bar. Okay, the title bar is at the top of the window, inside its border, and extending its entire width. Okay, the title bar is nothing but this the top edge. Okay, where we people are getting some sort of the file name as well as the which particular application we people are using. Okay, sometime it is also called as the a caption bar, or a title area. The title bar contains a descriptive title identifying the purpose or the content of the window. If you look at the Microsoft window, the Microsoft window provides the title bar, and at the extreme left as well as the right end, we have the control button for retrieving the system menu and performing window resizing. Okay, for example, we have a close button, we have a minimize or a maximize, a restore down, minimize and maximize, and so on. Okay, the title bar also is used or served as a control point. Okay, you can move one particular window, okay, easily, okay, and it also acts as an access point for commands that can be applied to a window here. The next one, we have a title bar icon that is located at the left corner of the title bar in a primary window, and this button is used in Windows to retrieve pull down menus of commands that that we can apply to a particular object in that particular window. And usually we have a 16x16 version of the icon of object that is being viewed here. Okay, when clicked with a secondary mouse button, the commands applying to the objects are the presented. Okay, the Microsoft suggests that if the window contains a tool or a utility, a small version of the application should be placed there instead. If the application or if you have an application that creates, loads or saves documents or data files, and a window represents the view of one of its file, a small version of the icon represents its a document or a data file. The type should and must be placed there. Okay, suppose if the user has not yet saved the file, display that data file object rather than the application icon, and again display that data file icon after saving that a particular file here. We have a window sizing buttons. Okay, those are located at the right corner. Those are located at the right corner of the title bar in a primary window. This button is used in Windows just to retrieve pull down. These buttons used to manipulate the size of the window here. At the leftmost button, that is the minimize button, that is used to minimize the window here. Okay. That inscribed with a short horizontal line towards the bottom of the button, that is used to reduce a window to its a minimum size. Okay, usually an icon. Okay, it also hide all associated window here. The maximize button typically inscribed with large boxes. Okay, that enlarges a window to its maximize size, usually the entire screen. Okay, when a screen is maximized, the restore button replaces the maximize button, since the window can no longer be increased in size. When these buttons are displayed, people use this following guidelines. When a window does not support a command, do not display its command button. The close button always appears as the rightmost button. Okay, leave a gap between it and any other buttons here. A minimize button always precedes the maximize button. The restore button always replaces the maximize button or the minimize button when the command is carried out. What's this button? Okay, the what's this button which appears on a secondary window and a dialog box, that is used to invoke what's this. Okay, that is that provides some sort of help about the objects that are displayed within the the secondary window. The next one we have the menu bar. Menu bar is used to organize and provide access to the actions. Okay, that is located horizontally at the top of the window, that is just below the title bar. Okay, whatever we have the options like file, edit, view. Okay, this is nothing but the menu bar. Okay, the menu bar contains a list of items. Okay, when selected are displayed on a pull down menu or beneath the choice here, where you people are performing those operation on that particular object here. Okay. The next one we have a status bar. Okay, that status bar provides certain information. Okay, the information of use to the user and can be displayed in a designated screen area or areas. Okay, and they may be located at the top of the screen in some platform called a status area, or at the screen bottom. Okay, for example, here we people are opening one particular document here, and here you people are getting some sort of a status information about this particular window. Okay, how many characters we have, the line numbers, so on and so forth, the page number, the total number of words found, and so on, so forth. The Microsoft recommends the bottom location. Okay, and refer this area as the status bar. This also referred by the other platforms as a message area or a message bar. The next one we have a scroll bar. When all display information cannot be presented in a window, the additional information must be found and made visible. This particular bar is used to accomplish by scrolling the display content through the use of a scroll bar. Okay, a scroll bar is an elongated rectangular container. Okay. For example, here we have a scroll bar. Okay, so that you can move this particular window to the next page and so on and so forth. That scroll bar is an elongated rectangular container. Okay, consisting of a scroll area or a shaft. Okay, or a slider, we can say that, a slider box or a elevator, and arrows or anchors at the end here. Okay, this is the scroll bar we have, so that you can scroll down to the next page. Okay, the vertical scrolling, the scroll bar is positioned at the far right side of the work. Also we have the horizontal scrolling that is accomplished through the scroll bar located at the bottom of the work area. Okay, the next one we have a split box. A window can be split into two or more pieces of panes by manipulating a split box located above a vertical scroll bar, or to the left of the horizontal scroll bar. That split box is sometimes also called as a split bar. Okay, window can be split into two or more separate viewing areas that are called as a panes. For example, here I am opening uh, uh, Chrome as well as uh, the Firefox here. Okay, and in certain cases, this maybe you people are viewing certain web pages, and you are interested to look at that content simultaneously. On that case, you can simply click on this toolbar and drag it, and even I am clicking on uh, Mozilla Firefox title bar, and simply drag it to the another window here. So you can that acts as how you people simply go through that content for two windows simultaneously here. Okay. The next one, we have a toolbar. Toolbar are permanently a displayed panel or arrays of choices or commands that must be accessed quickly. Okay, they are sometimes called as a command bars also. Okay, for example, this particular section that belongs to a ribbon we have, that whenever we click on this particular button, you people are getting number of options here. Okay, they that is nothing but they are a part of this particular toolbar only. Designated, these toolbars are designated to provide quick access to specific commands or options. Okay, specialized toolbars are sometimes referred as ribbons or toolboxes, rulers, or palettes here. The next one, we have the command area. In situations where it is useful for a command to be typed into a screen, okay, a area can be provided. Okay, the desired location of this command area is at the bottom of the window here. Okay, the next one, we have a size grip. Size grip is a Microsoft Windows special handle included in the window to permit it to be resized one. When the grip is dragged, the window resizes following the same the conventions as the sizing borders. Okay, we have a three angled parallel lines in the lower right corner of the window designated as a size grip. For example, okay, here at the bottom of this the vertical scroll bar, you people are getting this what we say size grip. Okay, so that you can resize the size of this particular window here. The work area. The work area is a portion of the screen. Okay, for example, this is the work area where exactly we people are performing a certain tasks. Okay, it is an open area inside the Windows border and contains the relevant peripheral screen components such as a menu bar, scroll bar, message bar, etc. Okay, also it is sometimes it is also called as the client area also. These are the Microsoft Windows components. Okay, the windows containing maybe we have a primary window, secondary window, and for example a dialog box. And what components we have? Okay, a frame or a border, the boundary that defines the shape. Okay, if resizable, that contains some sort of a control for resizing it. Okay, the primary window need it, the secondary window need it, as well as for the dialog box we need it. The title bar or the caption bar, we need it for all these windows. Title bar icon, we need it for a primary window only. Okay, a small version of icon for an object that is being viewed. Okay, that is the access point for commands that are applied to that object also. The title bar buttons, we need this title bar button for all these three types of windows here. Okay, the close button, we need it for each and every window type. The minimize button, maximize, restore for a primary window. What's this? We need it for the secondary as well as the dialog boxes. Menu bar for a primary window, status for a primary window, scroll button, the size grip for the primary windows. The next one we have the windows, the presentation style. Okay, the window presentation style that refers to the spatial relationship, that is how you people are organize these windows on a screen. That is nothing but a spatial relationship of one window with another windows here. Okay, we people are having two basic styles. One is a tiled one, another one is the overlap. When it comes to the tiled window, the tiled windows derive their name from the common floor or a wall type. Okay, tiled windows appear in the one plane on the screen and expands or contrast to fill up the display surface as needed. Okay, if you look at this particular diagram, you came to know that how these windows are organized here. Okay, the most system provide two-dimensional tiled windows, the adjustable in both a height and a window. Okay. And in some certain cases, suppose if you have some less powerful systems, they are only a one-dimensional one. Okay, the windows being adjustable only in one manner, that is, you can adjust its height only. We are having certain advantages that are associated with this tiled window. Okay, the system usually allocates and position these windows for the user, eliminating the necessity to make the positioning decision. Okay, whenever you open the number of windows, they are automatically piled here. Okay, not necessary to reposition these windows. Okay, the open windows are always visible. Okay, that these tiled windows eliminate the possibility of being lost and forgotten. Every window is always completely visible here. Okay, the information is not at all hide beneath the another window here. Okay, they are perceived as fewer complexes than overlapping windows. The possibly because there are fewer management operations, or they seem less magical. They are easier. We can easily learn them, as well as we can easily use them. They yield better performance. Okay, by looking at how we people are manipulating windows, you people are able to use them very easily. You know the position where exactly it is located, so that you can complete the task very easily here. Even we have some disadvantages that are associated with this tiled windows. Only a limited a number of windows can be displayed in the available screen area. Okay, suppose if you start opening number of windows, the window size goes on shrinking here. That is the existing window size changes. Okay, that can frustrate the end user also. The window as a windows changes its size or a position, its movement can be a disconcerting one. The number of displayed window increases. Each window can get very tiny. The changes in the size and the location made by the system are difficult to predict. Okay, the system automatically positions these windows whenever we open multiple windows here. The configuration of a windows provided by the system may not meet the user needs here. Okay, they are perceived as crowded and visually complex because windows border are flush against one another, and they fill up the whole screen. Okay, crowding is accentuated if borders contain scroll bar or control icons. Okay, viewer attention may be drawn to the border, not the data. And these tiled windows permit less user control because the system actively manages the windows here. The next one we have overlapping. That is the another type how you organize these windows here. Overlapping windows may be placed on top of another window, like a paper on a desk. Okay, they possess three-dimensional quality, that is appearing to lie on a different planes here. Okay, that is, if you look at this figure, you can easily came to know that how you people are arranging or organizing these windows. Okay, according to user needs, you people are placing one window over another one, and because of that reason the information is hidden beneath of another window here. If you look at this particular the method or how the windows are organized here, we people are getting certain advantages that are associated with it. Okay, if you look at this overlapping windows, that simply resembles the desktop, that is familiar to the user one. The end user has some sort of the greater control that allows, if you look at this the mechanism, the user can easily organize these windows according to his needs. Okay, we people are getting certain flexibility in this particular case here. A window can maintain larger sizes. A windows can maintain consistent sizes also, as well as the consistent position. The screen space, the conservation is not a problem because windows can be placed on top of the another window here. There is a less pressure also just to close or delete windows that are no longer needed. The possibility exists for less visual and crowding and complexity. The larger borders can be maintained around the window information, and the windows is more clearly set off against its background. A window can also be expanded to fill the entire display. They yield a better user performance for a task where the data requires much window manipulation to complete the task here. Okay, here the people are getting certain disadvantages associated with it. They are operationally much more complex than the tile window, because more control functions are required. Greater user attention is also required for manipulation purposes. Information in window can be obstacle behind the other window. That is information is hidden beneath the or hidden as we have overlapping windows. One window hides the another window. Because of this particular reason, that particular window hides certain information. The window themselves can be lost behind other window and presumed not to be exist. Okay. The next one we have the this overlapping window present a three-dimensional space is not always realized by the user. Okay. The control freedom increases the possibility for the greater visual complexity as well as a crowding. Too many windows or improper offsetting can be visually that overwhelms the end user. Okay. Because the one window hides the another window, the end user may not able to access the content easily or properly, we can say that. Okay, that frustrates the end user. That is we have another special type of window, that is the cascading one. That is a special type of overlapping window, as the windows are automatically arranged in the regular progression. Okay, and each window is slightly offset from the other. Okay, the figure shows this cascading window style here. The advantages here: no window is completely hidden here. Okay, you can bring any window to the front easily. It provides simplicity in visual presentation and cleanliness. We people are very much interested in what presentation style we need to pick. Okay, we people are interested to know. Okay, when we people are when we need to use this tiled window and when we need to use this overlapping windows. Okay, we people are interested to use this tiled window whenever we people are performing a single task activities, data that need to be seen simultaneously. Certain tasks require a little window manipulation, or when we have inexperienced users. We people are using this overlapping windows when we have a multiple, when we people are performing a multiple task and we people are switching between these multiple windows continuously. A task necessitating a greater amount of window manipulation. When we have the experienced user, on that case we can use this overlapping windows. Unpredictable display content we people are getting whenever we people are getting. Okay. In the next window we people are going to discuss about the types of windows. Okay.